Hey, Dan Denley here from OverwatchForce.com. If you want more profit in your business with less stress, fear, and overwhelm, anxiety, and all that bad stuff, go to OverwatchForce.com. There you'll find a little form, an application for consulting services. If you'd like me to help you personally, then I'd be glad to do that. So here's the deal. Here's a very simple strategy that you can use to get clients. And dang, freaking road is really bumpy. Hang on a second. Let's shift lanes here. Maybe I'll actually smooth out a bit. All right. Content is king. We have known that for many, many years since the interwebs came about. If you think about it, all content is just basically one of four things, unless somebody wants to come up with something different. It's either a video, it's an audio, it's an image, or it's text. A video, audio, image, or text. That's it. That's all the interwebs is. Every application, whether it's Instagram, it's just basically a website that is packed into an application that loads audio, video, audio, images, and text. That's it. That's all the internet is. So when you get really, really simple about it and think, what is it that people are engaging with online? What is it that they are actually consuming? It's just one of those four things, okay? So now that you know that, the next thing you need to know is that there are a whole lot of people in the world and a whole lot of content needs to get consumed. It's like insatiable, which is why you see these platforms like Amazon Prime Video, Netflix, Hulu, all these publishers of content and curators of content, they're actually starting to produce their own series. Not only can they not get enough content fast enough from people who actually produce it, they're also going into the content production business, i.e. producing their own films, producing their own series and all of that, okay? So that's the other part you know is like, sometimes people say, well, how much content's too much? The answer is, there's never enough. There's never enough content. Like you could, okay, so the next thing is, well, what business should be producing content? Every single business. I don't care who you are or what you do, you should be producing content. Let me give you a really simple example. I actually just had a conversation with a guy yesterday. They have a business where they are basically can go in and sanitize someone's home, okay? And what that means is they can go in, and this isn't like the house cleaner that comes and cleans the toilets and stuff. This is something different. It is come in with the right organic chemicals, and then wipe down all the surfaces, wipe down all the doorknobs, wipe down all of the door frames. I got a semi-truck about to turn in front of me. Oh, thank you, dude. Wipe down all the door frames, mop all the floors with a specific thing. They turn on this thing, I think it's called a fogger or something, and it actually produces this thing into the air that sanitizes the air and all the surfaces in the air. And so anyway, people that really, really need a sterile environment would be interested in this service. So here's a strategy that I gave him. It is content that is useful with an offer. It's as simple as that. Content that's useful with an offer. So kind of like what you're watching right now. Hey, if you'd like to learn how to use content with an offer to drive revenue into your business, keep watching. If you want it even faster, go to OverwatchForce.com to learn how you can work with me personally. Okay? So that's the format. And so what I advise him to do is, look, take a video, right? And let me just speak to this really quickly. People are always worried, like, well, what if my video doesn't look professional? What if I don't sound right? What if I say something stupid? No one cares. No one cares about you. No one cares about your silly brand. Unless you are freaking Coke or Pepsi or the New England Patriots or Nike. Really, your brand? You're worried about that? No. Guys, there are brands that have done billions of dollars and no one even remembers, like a little company named Standard Oil, founded by a guy named Rockefeller. How many people are still talking about that brand? I think that guy made more money than everybody combined multiplied by 3 or something. So no one cares about your brand. So there's only 2 ways to go in your videos that you're producing for your social media. All right. And basically, let's boil it down to 2 things right now in the year 2020. There's only 2 platforms. They're called Facebook and Google, because Google owns YouTube, Facebook owns Instagram, they own WhatsApp, they probably own some other stuff I'm not even aware of. Google has, well, do I need to explain it to you? No. They have search and shopping and display and YouTube and other, other platforms that they can syndicate their content to and their ads to. Okay, so what kind of video should be making? There's only 2 in my professional opinion. Either it needs to be, I can't believe I just said professional opinion. I'm not a professional at anything, really. Okay, that made me laugh. It either needs to be one of 2 things. It either needs to be super high-end documentary film, Martin Scorsese style, like high-end production, like that could literally be run on Netflix. That with people who actually know about film and actually know how to write scripts and actually know how to produce amazing looking film and cinematography. Or it needs to be straight up rogue, or since I'm from Mississippi originally, I'll say, down home redneck. It needs to be iPhone, like unadulterated, unvarnished, that type of thing. Okay. So those are your 2 options. So with this guy, with this cleaning service, guess which one they probably should do? Not high-end Martin Scorsese like film. They should do rogue redneck video. Okay. Now, what if it doesn't look professional? Again, nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about your silly brand. Nobody. All they care about is themselves. I hate to put it that bluntly, but that's all they care about. If you're sitting there and you're like, my elderly mother could get an infection if this thing is not cleaned properly. I want it cleaned properly. I've got plenty of money. I can just hand you a check to make this problem go away. The only thing they care about is the problem going away. They don't care about your brand. They don't care about if your video is professional. Here's what they want to hear. They want to hear something like this. If you have a home that needs a sterile environment, and you want to make sure that every single element of your home has been sterilized in a way that will not cause infection, and you want to keep it that way, we're this company called theawesomecleaners.com. Here's how our service is completely different than any other service you've ever seen. And then actually have a video of a dude that walks around and follows you in your process. It says, regularly you would clean this toilet with whatever, Clorox and a scrub brush. We actually use this, and this is our process. And here's why it's completely different and sanitized. And we have this fogging machine. The fogging machine is loaded up with this organic, super duper chemical thingy that is actually good for you and goes throughout your entire house and kills all the bacteria and every virus known to mankind, and penetrates every surface and every crack and everything. And then we come back through and we wipe everything down, and then we leave in like hazmat suits or whatever. I'm totally making this up. And when we leave, and we film the process so that you know exactly what we did, so you know exactly what you're paying for. And then we recommend the service quarterly or monthly or yearly or whatever the deal is. If you'd be interested in that service, click the button below to call me right now. We'll be happy to come out and do a site evaluation and give you a quote. Something like that, right? Totally made that up off the top of my head. So the whole entire strategy is this. You create that content, you create that video, which is helpful. It's basically like hey, here's the way you could sanitize your home. Like, here's some, you could do, if you really want to go high. Look, I mean, there's 2 ways to do this. Actually, it's probably 100, but 2 that just popped in my mind. Either you give something that's really useful, like 3 tips on how to sanitize your home, and then you pitch your thing, or you just go right for the jugular and say, if you're looking for someone to sanitize your home, here's the service that we offer. The format that I learned from John Carlton about 100 years ago is, here's what I got, here's what I'll do for you, here's what to do next. That's your script. Here's what I got. We offer home sanitation services. Here's what that means. Here's what it'll do for you. It'll clean your home, it'll sanitize your home. Here's why it's completely different than anything you've ever seen, and it's definitely different than marymaids.com or whatever. And then here's what to do next. If you would like us to come out and perform a free site evaluation and give you a quote, call me. Click the button below. Or submit the lead form. Whatever, depends on how your business is set up. And then, so you run that video to specific zip codes. You can actually set this up when you're running the ad. You run it to specific zip codes. And I would probably target people that have money. Go look up the highest income zip codes in the county or the state or the city or however your business is set up, that whatever you can handle, and just take that video and run it out to people, okay? Then, if you want to get fancy schmancy, once those people see that ad, which is essentially a video, you can actually retarget them with another ad, and I would suggest another video. So in Facebook, in Instagram, I'll actually run it from the Facebook side. All the ads on Instagram are run from the Facebook side. I would start with Facebook for this particular example because of the demographics of the 2 platforms. Facebook tends to skew older, Instagram younger, although that's changing. On the Instagram side, more older folks are getting on that platform. But here's the deal. You want to run that ad, which is going to create a remarketing audience, a retargeting audience. Basically, people who watched your video. And let's say that video is 5 minutes long. People say, well, how long should the video be? A minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes? As long as it needs to be. That's how long it needs to be. There is no rule. I'm not making this up. I have a company. We put a webinar on YouTube that was 1 hour and 10 minutes, and it has like 700,000 views on a very obscure topic. Who in the crap is going to watch 1 hour and 10 long video? Well, 700,000 people did. That's who. So the answer is, as long as it needs to be, that's how long it needs to be. Okay, as long as it takes you to get your message across, to bring value to the person watching it, that's how long it needs to be. All right. I got to go. I got a meeting. So then you have a retargeting audience. So what you do is you create another video that says, hey, and then you run that to people who've already seen that first video, and you say, hey, thank you so much for, hey, you know what? I noticed that you watched a video about how to sanitize your home and our services. If you would, here's 3 other ways that, if you wanted to try this on your own, if you want to do it your own, here's the way you could do it. This, this, and this. If you want help with that, then you can call us at this number. We'd be happy to come out and do a free site evaluation. Okay, or something like that. Anyway, that was kind of a not so great example, but the bottom line is you can remarket the people that have already seen the first video. I guess maybe you already know that. A lot of people don't realize that that's going to cost you a lot less than the person who's never heard of you. So let's say there are 10,000 views on that first video. You can say, give me everybody of those 10,000 views who've watched at least 50% of that video. If 50% watched, let's say that's 1,000 people. Now you give them the second video to those 1,000 people with a very specific message and call to action, okay? That's the whole technique. It is very powerful. People using it to make a lot of money and to do quite well, especially when the world is just moving to this phone right now. That is the current world we live in. If you don't get that, then you need to wake up. Hey, if you want help with this stuff, you can go to overwatchforce.com and apply to work with me. All the very best. I got to run. See ya.